Hey, everybody, welcome back. Here's the Jay Young Show. I'm Jay Young, the host, and I've got my co-host, Jordan Soto. Hello, Jordan. How you doing?
Good. I'm willing fall to come. I had a touch of it for a few days, and it's gone again. I'm like, come on, Houston, let's get it together.
Man, anytime you get some good weather in Houston, it's a blessing, I know.
Absolutely. I went to Round Top for the first time. I don't know if you've ever been, but it's a huge um, thrift vintage market area. And so so many people gather into this one tiny little town called Round Top, Texas. And it was quite a time there. Went with a few friends, and you're just, at the end of the day, you're dusty, you're tired, you're sweaty, but you have mink fur. So, I mean, I guess it does, it is what it is.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Well, that's great.
yeah.
That's great.
No, it was awesome. What about you? How are things in Dallas? You
Oh,
holding down the fort?
yeah, Dallas is good. We're drilling, completing wells, Bivens Ranch. We're doing super good there. Excited about bringing those wells in. Family's good. Church is good. I can't complain, really. I mean,
I feel like you have just been the influencer of the month on LinkedIn. Every time I go on there, I'm seeing a new post from you, whether that's video or something about the drill site. It's been really cool to see how those things have progressed on LinkedIn specifically.
that's great. Yeah, we do a lot on LinkedIn. We're starting to do a lot on X or Twitter, and it's just a great way to get your message out. We have such a great
Yeah.
story, and I've got something I want to share, just like our guest here in a little bit. But I have so much I want to share. And how do you do that? And it's like I was reading,
Right.
I was watching. We went to Orlando, Orlando Wednesday, and I was watching Trump, and Trump was talking about how he got elected. And one of the biggest ways he got elected was, getting on X, getting the message out there, having a great message, but also not only just getting. It takes a lot of work. I mean, it takes a lot of work to have a lot of followers, and it takes a tremendous amount.
And I think it takes, going on podcasts and really expanding your message there. I mean, I think that his son really played a very impactful role of getting him onto very influential podcasts, because it changes the way that people understand you and they understand your business. I think that people are really focusing on that ROR component now, as they have been for quite some time in the oil and gas industry. Return on relationships, ROR, just in case you didn't know. But Jay, you're so good at that. You are a little networking bumblebee whenever you're at events, and it's really cool to see. But you can spread your reach so much further whenever you're able to really hone in on that message across social media platforms. And the impact, I mean, speaks for itself.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'll tell you what, it's kind of like the a book that I'm reading right now, which I know we need to get back in. Should we talk about it now, or should we wait?
Let's wait until the J's 5. I love the 5 rundown.
Make sure, because it's not on here. I don't think it, but make sure.
I saw it on my agenda.
I want to get this message out. I am so pumped up about this message. I want to get it out. And all right, well, let's just make everybody wait. Hey, maybe they'll stay.
Okay.
Maybe they'll stay here and not hang up on me if we.
Hey, look!
We'll get a little
is that
nugget.
a hook I hear?
Yeah. We'll get a little nugget.
All right, Jay, give us the rundown of the oil and gas news. What's happening?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, the natural gas industry right now is really producing a lot of natural gas in the United States, which is a great thing, right? I mean, we're exporting so much more. The data centers are using so much more. Electricity is using so much more natural gas. Natural gas prices are going up. They have been for a long time, 50% since for a year and a half. They're about 50%, which is great. It's just like oil, but it's a natural gas. And so when you're drilling for oil or gas or both, which we do have both in the majority of the wells that we drill, it's a commodity. And if prices go up, it's a great thing. Right now, the demand for natural gas is going up. And that's a good thing for us, because as we ship more overseas to other countries, that means our demand for the product here will go up. And as the demand goes up here, the price goes up. And so that's a really good thing, because if we're drilling for it, like right now, we're drilling for oil and natural gas, but we want to drill it at a price to where it's affordable to drill and complete wells, but then also when you get that return on the investment, when you get that return on your investment, it's really good. It's a good price. You want to buy low, sell high. That's kind of the idea behind.
I think where were we at? Were we at NAPE whenever we were doing a podcast and somebody walked by and they said that out loud? We're like, yes, there you go. You got it.
Absolutely. I'm getting the message out.
Now let's talk about the new opportunities that this has kind of created for the midstream investment in LNG infrastructure. What are your thoughts there on natural gas and the impact of that?
Yeah, well, midstream, there's upstream, midstream, downstream, but midstream is after us upstream guys drill and complete the wells. How do you get it to where you get the best price for it, right? That's midstream. Mm-hmm. That's the pipelines. That's the Energy Transfer, Ray Davis, Kelsey Warren, those kind of guys, Barry Davis. Those kind of guys are the ones that put that pipeline in to make sure that you can sell your product. And that's really increasing a lot because when you have natural gas, but also we're trying to get our oil also transported by pipeline because it's a lot less to transport it by pipeline, especially if you have a lot of it, like we do in on the Bivens Ranch. We feel like we're going to have 10,000, 15,000 barrels a day there really soon. Well, transporting it by pipeline is a lot better on the roads because you can have a lot of roads. And you can tear up roads real easy with 18-wheelers, going right across them. So it's going to be really good for that. So I'm excited about that because that really does help the oil and gas industry a lot. Is having an output for that product that we're selling.
Absolutely, and I've heard some news about new water management venture in Midland. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of people out there that try to figure out exactly. I mean, if you saw on our videos the frack pond that we had, there's a huge frack pond. It's like 400 feet by 4. I mean, it's huge, and that's we just fracked 2 wells. Well, just think there is 100 rigs running in the Permian. Just think about one rig. And just think about how many, frack ponds it's going to take. And these are the same frack ponds that they swam in Landman. The daughter and the boyfriend was swimming in that frack pond. I don't think they were really swimming in it, if you're talking about, but you shouldn't. If that was real, you shouldn't.
Jay's like, if I had one piece of advice for you, don't swim in frack ponds.
There's a lot of crap in that water. Don't even think about it. You may shrivel up and may never go back. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not, you don't want to swallow the water. Man.
No, not at all. It's not pool water, not to be confused with pool water. Yeah. But Water Tectonics and Clear Veil Capital, they just launched WT Oil and Gas, which is a new company in Midland, Texas. I always have hopes for Midland to just, not be just such a, for as much activity is going on there, it does feel so small and not like it will ever be a booming, bustling Houston or Dallas or anything like that, even though there is so much happening there. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, well, nobody wants to live in Midland unless you have to. I mean, not really. I mean, yes.
You'll be like me after Round Top. You're dusty, you're sweaty.
Every day. Every single day. I mean, I'm fourth generation, my great-grandparents. I mean, they made sure that if we're moving to Big Spring or Midland or Odessa, that they left on the weekends. We're not here on the weekends. Friday, we're out of here. Yeah. We're not staying here on weekends because it's just so dusty. It's hot, and there's just not a lot of things to do, not a lot of great restaurants like there are in Dallas or Fort Worth or Possum Kingdom.
Yeah, there's really there's 2. Was it Opal's Table is one of them, and then there's a few. Street. I mean, they are trying, but if you go there, I would recommend Opal's Table. I think that place is great.
Yeah. Oh, there's some great places to eat, and not bad places to eat. But there's just not a lot of things to do, and there's not a lot of people that actually congregate inside the city of Midland. And if you go to the city of Midland, it's not that big, and it's just pretty dusty, and there's not a lot of infrastructure going on there because companies can go out, they can go out 5 miles and build a 600,000, like Pioneer at the airport, or not the Midland Airport, but the private airport up northwest of Midland. I mean, they just spent another, $20 million building another building. So they had these 80,000 square foot buildings side by side. They're going to put a third one there because of, Exxon and Pioneer doing all that. So it's like you can do that out there because it's just so spread out and there's nothing holding it back,
Right.
So it's easy to do that there, and it's just gets so spread out, and there's so many people all over the place that it's so different. It's so different there than it is here. So, but anyway, the water which we're talking about has to be transported, and it can be used again to frack new wells with. The water business is an incredible business because of all the wells that are drilled out there and fracked, and you have to use a lot of water and sand to frack these wells. So that's the one good thing about Midland is they are very efficient, and they are looking for ways to save money, not only on the side of drilling and completing wells, but also the production and also the new drilling of wells in the future, and how can they accomplish that? So that's a good thing. But they're looking to start these new companies, and hopefully they'll find people that want to live there and operate them. Just kidding.
Right. That's the goal. That's the goal. I mean, if not, you'll get paid a lot of money to be there for however long you're going to be there. But, it's interesting, like, as you're talking about that, I think that some of these things are just, you talk about efficiency and taking concepts that have been and then revamping them to be more efficient and better in operation. And I think that kind of directly brings us into our guest that we have today.
Yeah, Don Greene. Hey, so Don, come on. I'm not sure if you're on yet. There you go.
I am here.
There you go. Hey, you're a proven business leader with nearly 2 decades of experience in medical, diagnostics, sales leadership, and operational strategy. Well, something you're trying to do today is you're learning, or you're trying to teach how a new form of the business. And I want you to help me understand that and what we can do to help you. So Don, welcome to the show, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah. So, I've spent my entire career post undergrad in the medical industry doing a lot of different things. Found myself moving into the diagnostic space about a little over 10 years ago, and absolutely love it. One thing I've done over the years is just love to create networks, and it's an old school approach to things. And no matter how much technology is in our lives every day, just having that connection with people is what really helps to grow and scale anything you do. And seeing that we found a niche in the change of what people are expecting or what our clients are allowing us to do with them in interactions, we've taking a very bad situation that I had at work one day and put it into something positive. And so learning from my mistakes is one of the things that I always love to do, and overanalyze it to the nth degree. And so I grabbed a small group of like-minded individuals, and we created MPI Scope, which is a tool that's going to become what I hope to be one of the newest and largest sales-specific communities. And we're focusing specifically right now on the medical community. And what we've done is we've taken a lot of public data that is available to you through the Medicare and Medicaid services, CMS, and been able to put it into a very fluid and readable format, allowing sales reps to look at all this information for free. A lot of companies out there right now are charging you anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 on a monthly basis to see that data. We're doing it for free, and you can go through it and look through it. And with that, we're going to help to build and grow this community and start to hopefully change some of the trends that are moving in the wrong direction in regards to us sales reps. And so that is where we're at and where we're moving forward right now.
So how does it work? Or, you mean there's a way that they were doing it before, and you're trying to?
Yeah, I kind of want to know, like, the bad day at work is, is that what kind of, like, the process, this bad day at work, is that you were trying to operate in that, and then that's what led you to want to build this?
Yeah. So
if I could just take the words out of your mouth, Jay. Sorry, I totally talked over you there.
No, I'm just trying to learn here. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I overanalyze things to the nth degree. And so learning from, your successes, but I think you can learn a lot more from your failures in life. And I have taken every failure that I've ever had and tried to figure out what went wrong and how can I improve the outcome the next time around. And it's not a perfect process, but after I had a bad client engagement, I sat in my car for about a half hour and just dove in and going, what can I do to help to change this outcome? And it dawned on me at that point that we have to start to change those mentalities of our providers. And these are specific to these medical offices as a sales rep in the medical industry encounter. It starts grassroots old school by face-to-face interactions, providing information about a product or service. And unfortunately, as time has gone on, those opportunities for those interactions have decreased immensely. And even post-pandemic, the amount of offices that allow you to have those engagements are decreasing this time over time. And it's the thought of trying to build this community, because at the end of the day, most sales reps really do enjoy communicating with each other and helping to share information with each other. So trying to build something or a place where we can go and we can share those ideas, those thoughts, and be able to communicate together. You're going to have your sales reps that are very selfish and don't want to share. But the more and more I've learned over the years in my 20 years of experience is that everyone loves to help each other. Even if you're in a competing market, I'm still friendly with sales reps that are in competing companies that I'm in right now. And so it's doing what I love to do best, and that is bringing people together. I've had a great reputation over the years and tried to help people that call me up and say, hey, I need help here. Even if it's in California or in New York, I love to be able to hopefully connect people and help further everybody else's career along with my own.
I think that you and Jay have the same ethos in that regard. One of the things that you kind of touched on that I would love to hear your thoughts, and Jay, yours as well, which is interesting to me because as, of course, my background and career path has been that of content creation, right? Which is, I have a story and I want to share it. I want to share it with everyone, right? Like I want everyone to be connected. I want everyone to know everything. But when it comes to sales reps, one of the things that I've learned is that their book of business is like their livelihood. And oftentimes that's something that they really want to hold tightly to. Jay, Don, do you guys mind kind of diving into why you think that is or what that looks like, especially with your new approach? Maybe, Don, you can add a little bit more into the MPI scope. And I'm not sure if that's like what you're talking about or not, but I thought that was really interesting because I've seen it a lot more so, I think, with the medical industry, but sometimes that's a strategic hire. And so, Jay, you as an investor, do you look at people's contacts and book of business whenever you're thinking of bringing them onto the team? And Don, how have you navigated that field of book of business and wanting to share and help while also, continuing to keep your clients? So I know that that's kind of a loaded question for both of you guys, but Jay, I'll have you start.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, from a standpoint of, I mean, it's really hard today to get into somebody's office or to get, obviously, the sell, right? So you think about, okay, so from the very beginning, and how do you get the money? Right. The money's the goal. The money's the goal. And I'm not trying to say it in a bad way. I'm just saying the sale or the money's the goal. Right. So what do you have to do in the process?
Well, you make commission. It's your livelihood.
Yeah,
exactly. It kind of matters.
Exactly. So what does that sales process look like? And in our industry, for people to look at how do we raise $100 million fund in a year? What do we have to do? How many contacts do we have to have? How many clients do we have to have? How many meetings? How many blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's like there's so many different things. Right. And if there's any way possible we can shorten that cycle better, wow, right? It's just so much easier. And I was this book that I'm reading, and I'm just trying to finish it up, but it's called Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi. Ferrazzi, I'm going to call him Ferrazzi. Maybe it's Ferrazzi, but Ferrazzi is it's hard to get into, it's hard for somebody to say, hello, or is somebody to, and that's where I thought Don was going with this and earlier, because he was talking about, he's trying to change the way that people contact physicians to get them to say, yes, I want the product, or it's good or bad, or it's not what I want, or it's just, trying to get them to make a decision is the hard part. How do you get to them is another, and how do you, because you just can't call them, or you have to be very, very, call them 10 times or go through their assistant.
Persistent and intentional.
Make sure they're going in. Yeah, I mean, it's like there's so many different things, and I don't know that industry very well, but I can imagine how hard it is and how much you have to work, because it's just like anything, right? It's like once you get into, and you're selling something to somebody, or you're selling a product to them, okay, it becomes easier, but it may take, there's some guys that takes a year to really get acclimated into some systems before they really, right. So who's willing to pay them for a year to know if they're going to be successful or not? I think that's one of the things. So with Don and his he's trying to disrupt the industry because he's trying to get there faster. That's what I want to hear about it. And how does that shorten the process, and how do we get there faster, Don?
Well, yeah, I mean, relationships are paramount. And so having those relationships is what really kind of helps you open up doors sometimes. But with the ones that you have relationships with, those are usually the easier sells. So those are your shortened sales processes. So as this industry has changed, you have a whole different group of issues that you run into. The first are those really, really hardcore front door gatekeepers that just won't let you through no matter what, and you're talking about taking, 10 times, it might, be your 15th visit. It's never going to happen. Whatever you're leaving is going right in the garbage when you walk out the door. Some offices I've learned over the years, I've found out that they have no idea what's going on in the front of their house. And so they don't realize until after that person is no longer with the company that they have completely walled off these opportunities. And so that's one aspect that we're trying to be able to bring that information behind the front, these gatekeepers quicker. Other than that, you also have offices that just use things in the medical industry as a sales tool to help with building their office internally. So you are getting more staff, you're keeping staff longer by offering them certain things. In our industry, lunches are what usually is a very common course of interactions during a day, and where you allow some time to sit down with a physician or other type of practitioner to give your spiel to. These offices are doing these multiple times during the week. Some are doing breakfasts and coffee in the morning and lunch in the afternoon. And so it's a redundancy that the practitioners have no interest in even joining you anymore. So you show up, and actually, and this is exactly what happened to me, going back to my point earlier, where I had my bad experiences, where you're spending X amount of money and you sat there for an hour and no one ever showed up. You were talking to the receptionist, who has absolutely zero influence on what the doctor's going to do with your product or service. And so being able to take all these people that we're putting together in this community, and we're going to be building out and launching over the next couple of weeks, as a physician scorecard, which is going to allow sales rep to actually score the office, on front desk, on lunches, on stuff like that. And instead of being such a negatively driven approach to things like some of these sites are, that you can go and look at reviews like Yelp or whatnot, it's all negatively charged. We want to take that data and go back to these physicians and say, hey, listen, this is what sales reps are saying. And some doctors, like I said, have no idea what's going on in the front of their house. Yeah. And so some of them are so willing. And like you said, I mean, you have early adapters, or you have the ones that are going to take that year to really build that relationship with, but you don't get to start the clock until you get that interaction going.
Yeah, we have a deal in our office that we talk about, how many different contacts do we have that we're reaching out to, whether that be 50, 100, 200, whatever. And it's like you have a number of people. Then you have, activity. What are you doing? What are you doing today to reach how many people? Activity. And then you reach out to them, whether it's email, text, or voicemail, or phone call, 3 ways. And then you talk about, okay, how many did I engage with, or how many engaged with me? And then, the second conversation, and then you're moving on. But it's a tough, any industry's tough. It's obviously a numbers game, right? Yes. It's obviously a numbers game, and not everybody's built for it. I mean, my wife says that she'll never,
I'm not,
Jordan's not. Yeah. It's like there's some people out there. I grew up, I didn't have any choice. I said I didn't have a choice. I didn't know there was a choice, but I became a stockbroker at an early age, and they sit you down with 200 Dun & Bradstreet cards. They spent 3 cents on, and they were like, just go at it. And you're like, okay. So you just pick up the phone and just dial 200, rejection. Even if but this was before caller ID. I can't imagine. I know it's a lot harder now today because of caller ID, but you can't cold call anymore. It's like they'll just hang up on you or let it go to voicemail or whatever. But, that was us, as we're calling 200-300 times a day. But it's just pick up the phone and just dial. And I mean, people don't even know what this is anymore because they don't dial the phone. They just punch it in there, whatever. And
well, now kids are doing this instead of this.
Yeah.
Because this is how a phone is. It's flat.
I know, exactly. And it's just so different in today's world.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what Don mentioned was relationships. I mean, I'm telling every college kid, and I do a few talks on college kids, and I want to continue doing that, but I tell them about, never eat alone, because never eat alone tells them about relationships, and you never know. My youngest daughter's boyfriend is going to go work for Scout Energy, and I said, you go over there and you meet everybody you can, put a smile on your face, introduce yourself, and tell them that just, hey, it's great to meet you, and I'd love to be able to contact you in the future, because you never know what kind of contacts. So it's like Jordan's got Harold Hamm. I mean, you got all these great people out there, incredible network. So if there's something that you ever need, like Harold Hamm to come on the Jay Young Show, all you got to do is reach out to him.
Yeah, I can reach out.
Absolutely. You have so many
Harold.
Yeah. Not like this. Don't do that.
Right.
But anyway.
No, but it's interesting. As you're building this out, Don, you saw a need, you built something with like-minded individuals. What was it like? What's been the biggest challenge and opportunity of creating this new offering? Because I know Jay has been very open about his opportunities and challenges along the way through his entrepreneurship journey. As you're building this up and being the founder and CEO of NPI Scope, what has that looked like for you thus far?
The challenge was being to put away all the negative energy. Right when we decided to start doing this, I actually went to some people that are close friends of mine that had been successful in startups and stuff like that, and I threw him my idea, and it was just this constant like, oh, you can't do this. It's not going to happen. People aren't going to come and work with you for free. That was the biggest thing. How do you get great front end and back end developers and people that are very fluent in SEO and accessibility, which is a lot of stuff that I didn't even know terminology wise when we first started. And I don't want to pretend I do much no more than I did then, but I have some great people around me, and that's, big thing is surrounding great people around you is what makes you successful. But yeah, it was getting through all that negativity, and then to be able to produce something and then have those benchmarks, and then to meet and exceed those benchmarks every time. We put together a very loose schedule and said, okay, you know what, this is a bunch of people that all have full-time jobs, but are going to try to do this on a few hours a night during the week or on the weekends, and to be able to do what we did to put together, and then to have those people who had those negative opinions of us from the get-go come back and say, I can't believe that you guys did what you did. It's really amazing to what we did. And so that's just rewarding in itself right now. We want to take this to the nth degree, but even to accomplish this much, I just found it, and just feel blessed that we were able to do this.
What do you feel like has been the biggest impact since you've launched or done a soft launch?
Actually, the biggest impact has been the organic response from the community. We have big companies that are part of our platform on a daily basis that rely on our platform. We actually, because we take all this Medicare data and put it in there, we actually have people from the federal government, from different versions like the VA, that are actually part of our website and are actually researching information on our website, because our site is so much easier to navigate versus that of the federal websites that Medicare uses. And so that's been rewarding. And also just the networking. If there's one thing that I could give out as a as a suggestion to people when they're trying to start this out is there are so many people out there that are willing to offer their knowledge and their expertise at no charge. It's a great community. And I think these communities are probably could expand onto other industries. But I had people on LinkedIn just hit me up going, hey, if you want some information, I've sold, several companies in the 7-8 figure range, found out that one guy lives 5 blocks from me. Never met the guy before, but just had an hour conversation and offered me advice on certain things and how to do this and where to go. And it said, hey, anytime you want to give me a call, please, give me a call. And they're out there if you decide to start to do this. There are a lot of people that try to monetize this. And I really do believe that there are very, very, authentic people out there that are just trying to pay it forward. And that has been overwhelming and just been really exciting because we've been able to grow the network and actually have had now insights, and I'm kind of taking little parts and involvement in other things I never thought I was before. So it's been very exciting to do that.
That's great. And I tell you what, people are most everybody are nice people, and they don't want to take advantage, and they want to be a part of something. And they may get a little greedy from time to time and want a bigger piece of what they haven't created yet, or what they feel like but overall, I feel like people do have a good heart. They want to succeed, and they want to see you succeed. And since you have a great idea in scaling your operations like this, that is just so much better and hard to do. It's definitely hard to do, but good for you to get this thing going. So I'm pumped up to hear about where do you think you'll be in, let's say, a year, 3 years, 5 years? Do you have any idea or plan?
Yeah, we do. We're definitely looking to, I said, we're going to start rolling these modules as quickly as we can right now. So, the idea is to put out a model right now to where we can actually start to eventually start charging for our services, because with that brings in the revenue, then allows us to scale. And scaling is the hardest thing in any business. And so this is something we're looking forward to. So in a year, I would love to be able to turn around a year from now and say we have a team of 30 to 50 people working on this and really growing the community. It's something that has been well receptive so far. And the more we talk about it, the more we get out, I believe we're just going to be able to grow this to the nth degree and hopefully be able to do this. And then starting with the medical community right now, but then we're going to expand this. So, making this available to other specialty community, sales communities out there. There's the beauty industry, which was my wife works in. She worked for companies like L'Oreal and selling beauty products and stuff. So there's other communities out there, and growing this community is not only being able to open that door to hopefully these doctors down the road, but then also to bringing them information. There's a lot of, great podcasts out there. There's a lot of sales tools out there that individual sales reps that are trying to do it on their own can't access because of the amount of costs involved. And so this site is hopefully trying to bring together all these different aspects. It's such a complex problem that if you were to get inside my brain, I get lost in it myself. I would definitely probably lose a lot of other people. I have about a 50-page guideline of what I've written down about where I want to see this go. And so it's just going to take all these things, and it's fun to watch other people take my vision and be able to build it.
Yeah, that's great. And I was just thinking about Mary Kay, because we're right in the middle of Mary Kay Cosmetics up here in the pink Cadillacs. I don't see any pink Cadillacs anymore. But anyway, I know that they're here right around our office here in Addison. And just think about all the things that they've done and accomplished. And this would probably be something really great for them. It'd be a great product or a great hat for them to have, for sure.
Well, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. It's bringing those tools to them.
And if you talk to enough people, this is key. And this is the great part of the show is if he said, hey, you know what? I need somebody in Mary Kay to talk to. I could say, hey, all right, let me dig, and I'll find somebody that he can talk to. That's relationships. And that's all about, Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi. We've had Bob Bodine on a couple of times, and Bob Bodine wrote the book, The Power of Who. And that's about relationships. And that's what I'm teaching the college kids early. Even when you get into, I reached out one time. I worked for a guy one summer, my sophomore year in college. And when I went to get a job 4 years ago, I called him up and I said, hey, Sherman, I need a reference. And I don't know who else to call. he said, Jay, you just have them call me. You'll get the job. And it was so great that I had a good relationship with him, but I worked hard for his company and made them money, obviously, but it was just such. And so that's about relationships, and that's how you can grow things, because just starting out, sometimes just cold calling is not going to work in today's world. You've got to be creative and figure something else out. So I think that's a great segue into I don't know, what do you think, Jordan?
Well, I mean, I think that you have a great thing going, Don. It sounds, I'm excited to check back in a year or so and see where the project is at. Just having had looked over the website, like you said, it's modern, it's clean, it's fresh. It shows what you are about as a company, and as someone who works right now with, we work alongside each other at Sage's Diagnostics as well. Searching for NPI numbers is a whole mess. So your platform, provides, it allows for, like you said, that community where you can easily access the information that you're needing, right? Being the glue for a community, being the data center is a really crucial thing. And, I think the healthcare industry really is quite scattered. And so it is similar to oil and gas in that way, which oil and gas is really now trying to take those silos and connect everything to have easier accessibility to data, to then optimize that data into something that provides actionable insights or strategic initiatives. And so I think that your platform allows for the opportunity to kind of do some of those things from the sales perspective, which is unique in itself and community oriented as well, which is a really cool start.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
That's great. And I'll tell you what,
I could just sum it up.
Yeah, that's a great way to sum it up. And Don, we look forward to having you back on the show sometime and learning more about how you succeeded and your tenacity. I know that you're not going to take no for an answer. You're going to keep it up and keep going right on. So, hey, let's go to the weekly five. I know we're getting up on the top of the hour here. I want to make sure that we do hit these. And I know that one of the things, the book I'm reading, and I did mention Never Eat Alone. I think that's about the fourth time I mentioned that, by Keith Ferrazzi. I mentioned Power of Who by Bob Bodine. It talks about relationships, which I think is awesome. And one, too, I'm getting ready to pick up is On Fire, The 7 Choices to Ignite a Radically Inspired Life by John O'Leary. His memoir is a raw, powerful guide to living with gratitude, resilience, and unwavering tenacity. So I look forward to reading that. There's also the what you're watching, the show's coming on soon. I want to watch that film. Anything that you want to add to that, Jordan, about the book I'm reading?
Well, there is a book that I was just gifted from a friend. The title escapes me, but essentially it is about articulating your point in a way that gets you to where you're wanting to go and getting filler words out of there. And I think my Instagram even picked up on this. So I keep seeing these videos of people talking for a minute straight and not using any filler words. So I think that is a really impactful thing. Communication is so important. And when you can articulate your point in a way that provides clarity and see, I did the filler. But if I can provide my point with more clarity, I think I would be in a better positioning. So I'm interested in starting that book. Haven't started it yet. It is on my desk, though.
What's the name of it again?
I forgot. I wish I had it with me. I don't have it with me.
All right. Well, you can put it down below. Put it down below when this show comes out. You're going to put it below. Yeah. Man, you had me so. I was getting ready to dig into that. I thought, man,
I know. I'll send it your way.
Let's go. Okay.
If you don't mind books that are underlined in corners that are pushed down, dog-eared, then I will forward it to you.
Perfect. That's perfect. Don, do you have anything in particular? What's your favorite book or something that you're reading now?
With all this stuff, I'm reading the Startup Owner's Manual, which is basically like the Bible when it comes to trying to start up. And that could be in any industry whatsoever. Another one is actually Running Lean, which is a really good book. It's about how to like actually take your idea, focus it. And believe me, with my scattered brain, I need a lot of focusing with that regard. And then I read daily. One thing I could definitely not emphasize enough, especially for young people that are getting involved in any industry, is just read, educate yourself. I mean, just because school's over, never stop educating yourself. I have my keywords that I have Google searched every morning. I have an email that pops up and it hits me up with articles and journals and whatnot. And I'm always trying to keep myself educated and up on point, and hopefully keeping myself ahead of my competition when it comes to the knowledge that I have inside here.
Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely.
Amen on that, 100%. I try to read every morning. I try to read the Bible and also the Wall Street Journal, Dallas Morning News, and I'll take notes on the Wall Street Journal. I mean the Bible too, but I know that one of the things that you can do. Did you know that you can read the Bible in less than 3 months? If you read the New Testament, you can read the New Testament and the Bible in 3 months if you read 5 pages a day. All you got to do is read 5 pages.
Honestly,
yeah,
not as bad as I thought, because whenever you first said that, I was like,
oh yeah,
it's a big book.
Exactly. It's like, but the New Testament's different. I mean,
yeah,
I'm reading the New Testament. I'm gonna get through it by the end of the year, and I've read all different but I've never read it fully. So I'm gonna read it fully, get into it, read it by the end of the year. So be my accountability partner, Jordan, and ask me how I'm doing every week and where I'm at.
Hold you accountable.
There you go. Thank you. How many pages have you read? How many do you have left? And how many days? I mean, it's just.
I'm gonna check in.
There you
Watch
go.
out.
I love it. Word of the week. My word of the week this week is tenacity. The definition is persistent determination, the courage to hold on when things get tough. You know, it's the quiet strength that refuses to give up even when the odds say you should give up. You don't give up. It's like when they say you fall down 7 times. What do you do on the eighth time?
You get right up, Jay.
Up. Absolutely, 100%. Man, you don't stop. You don't stop. The Bible verse I'm loving is Galatians 6:9. A lot of them was Galatians 2:20 last week, because my Bible chat app of the week, it had it every day. Galatians 2:20, like for the last 5 days, I read it every day, and I have, and Galatians 2:20. For some reason, they didn't change it. Every day was Galatians 2:20, like from last Thursday to today. It's still, and I don't know if somebody got fired from there, or maybe somebody got fired from the Bible app, but it's still, today is Galatians 2:20.
I don't know. I know that's not supposed to be funny, but the way you said it.
Well, I mean, really, but I went back and I'm like, okay, well, I've heard of this.
Jay, the message hasn't resonated properly, and therefore it will continue until it has.
It's exactly what I said I think I posted on Instagram.
Tenacity.
And
it's not going to give up until
somebody's like, Jay, you don't really understand this yet. You need to read it again. I've been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. So I think that's a great Bible verse, and God wanted me to have it 5 or 6 days in a row because somebody got fired. I'm sorry, Bible chat. I'm just kidding. Nobody got fired. They just continued on that one. To let you know, the Bible chat app, it tells you a Bible verse every day, and it gives you a different one. I followed it for a year or longer, and it's always a different Bible verse every day. But for some reason, since last Thursday, Galatians 2:20. Wednesday, Tuesday with Matthew 5:6. So from Wednesday last week all the way to today, it's the same Bible verse. So I know that God's telling me that I haven't learned enough about it. Okay, but anyway,
dive deeper.
Moving on. Jay's going to learn Galatians 2:20. Bible verse. No, this podcast I'm listening to, the Ed Mylett Show. I love Ed Mylett. I think he's awesome. A friend of mine that told me about him a long time ago. I started listening, and he's really, really good. Very motivational. He's a bodybuilder type guy until you see He's not very tall, but he looks like
bodybuilders aren't always tall.
I know. Well, this guy, I thought he'd be like 6'8" or something, is how it portrays to me. But anyway, he's not that tall. But anyway, he has an incredible podcast and story that he shares. Ed Milet, The Power of One More. He says, when you finish, always do one more. If you're doing reps, if you're doing cold calls, if you're knocking on doors, if you're doing whatever the case may be, to do one more. Right. That adds up over time, and you will hit your goals better. So that's a podcast. Any podcast out there, do you think, Jordan? Anything in particular you're listening to?
Not any right now. I don't know. I have to be right in the mood for it, and I haven't found one that I like. But I know Don. I think Don, you listen to podcasts, right, Don?
I wish I had the time.
Oh, okay, fair.
When I'm driving around in my car in between like calls, when I'm driving around, I like to kind of decompress, and I'm a sports radio kind of guy. So that's where I kind of let my mind wander with awful Chicago sports follow-ups every day.
Fair enough. That can be your podcast. I'm over there. I'm like the psycho driving with no music or anything. I'm just like, do like my brain's busy enough. Wow. People think that's weird. I don't know. I just I enjoy driving with no sound.
Yeah. But nothing wrong with that. That's good. I like podcasts. Yeah. I like audiobooks. I was saying last week that, my wife and I, when we travel back and forth to Fort Worth to go see Michaela's volleyball or take her dinner or something. We went over last night. Well, we took her home last night. But coming back, it's always good to listen to a good audiobook. So, but I don't have enough time. A lot of people, have 30 minutes or an hour coming to work, and I've got like 5 minutes coming to work. So I don't have time. I live pretty close to my house, so I don't really have a lot of time. What to watch?
I hope you live close to your house, Jake.
I live close to my office. My house is close to
there you go.
There you go. Sorry. Well, yeah, thanks for that, Jordan, making sure.
You're okay.
Yeah. I live close to my office. Yeah. It's about 5 minutes, so it's a little good. What to watch? Landman's coming on in November, so we got Landman 2, the second season of Landman coming on, which will be awesome. I can't wait for it. I know that they talked about there's another Landman coming on. Because Taylor Sheridan auctioned off at I can't remember the name of the auction or the name of the fundraiser this past weekend, but he auctioned off, if you want to come to the Landman set and have dinner with the cast afterwards, he auctioned that off, and guess how much it went for?
Oh gosh, $1 million?
That was very good. $500,000, but it went from $300,000 to $400,000. I mean, that's just to go to the Landman cast or the set and have dinner with them. I guess they're buying dinner. You don't have to buy dinner. But
I mean, look, here's the thing. If you're on set, that's so cool. Yeah. I love being on set. There is nothing else like it. Whenever you have the lights, the camera, the stylist, the wardrobe, the props, the people, the crew, it's cool. It's really, really cool. And if you can go on set and do that, and then have dinner with them too, like, you should always try and take up that opportunity. I don't know if I would ever have the $500,000 to do so. Maybe one day.
Wow. Wow. Well, he went up to 500,000, and he said, "Hey, if because there were two people going against each other, I guess from 300,000 to 400,000," and he said, "Hey,
oh gosh,
if both of you will bid 500,000 each, I'll do it. I'll do two of them," and each one of them went to 500. Gosh. I know that's a lot of money. But Nicole Kidman was there. Go. Nicole Kidman, yeah, cool. she was there at the fundraiser. Who else was there? Dirk Nowitzki was there with his wife. Good event here in Dallas, but raised some money, raised $3.1 million in one night. That's so awesome. That's really good. But anyway, anything else you want to talk about?
I mean,
Jordan?
I think I have my one last question, Jay, and then I think that's it for me.
All right.
Don, knowing what you know now, about your career trajectory, starting this new initiative, what advice would you give to your 18-year-old self?
Take that chance. Don't be complacent. I was a person who was very purposely driven to say, okay, if I get to this point, then I can do this and I can do this. And I think had I been a little bit more aggressive like I am now later on in life, I might be in a different situation I'm in now, even though I love where I'm at right now and everything about it. But don't hold back. Dreams are meant to go for. And if you're young, you're always going to have time to make it up. If you're young, ambitious, and smart, if you're running on money, you're going to always have time to make more. So don't wait as late in life as I did. When you get to that point, go for it. Don't hold back.
Yeah, that's great. Great advice. I like that a lot. Okay, Don, well, thank you for joining us. It's been an incredible conversation. You're welcome. On growth, leadership, and innovation. So really pumped up about that. I'm pumped up about learning more about what you're doing and how you're doing it and how this works out. So congratulations. Look forward to hearing more about that. And if you'd like to learn more about our innovation in the energy space, you can always visit kingoperating.com. You can go to kingoperating.com, learn about King Operating and what we do here at our company, and as we raise capital, how we do it different. We don't do it like high net worth. We do the high net worth individuals, and you're investing alongside institutions, foundations, and endowments. People that are in other funds that may need $25 million minimum checks. We do it for a lot less than that, and you can participate alongside some really great assets that we have in our company. So King Operating is going on its 30th year. I know I don't look that old, but that's just the way it falls. And no, I'm just kidding. But we have a lot of great assets here. We have an incredible team, and we're raising capital for some great assets that we're going to grow over the next 3 years. And our goal is to raise and have a $3 billion company in 3 years. So we're going to be talking a lot more about that, our vision about how do we get there? How do you get to $3 billion in 3 years? So that's exactly what Don's going to be doing pretty soon. He's going to be talking about our company is going to be here in so many years. And but always when you're setting goals, make sure that you not only put a number on it, but also put a date on it, and then mention the people that's going to take you to get there. So I'm very excited about what we have, and I think that's all. Jordan, do you want to anything?
That's it, Jay.
Any final thoughts?
Until next week.
There we go.
Until next week.
All right, great. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you being here. And like Jordan said, until next week. Thank you very much.